Crypto God here, and today I got a good friend. His name is Christian. He's from Save the World Token. And, you know, you can't see his face right now, but you can on the Save Donation streams. He's one gorgeous bastard. Christian, how the f*** you doing?
I am doing all right, Crowley. Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, absolutely. You know, right now, people aren't going to see this interview for a few days, right? But we just announced that, you know, I'm kind of part of the team now. It's kind of exciting.
You are, and we're super excited to have you on. We can surely use your expertise, and we're very much looking forward to working with you.
Yeah. You know, it's cool. It's cool, right? Because, like, I was kind of off on the sidelines, kind of consulting there for a little bit, you know? And
yeah,
my main involvement with the coin just comes from, well, the token, right? Token, coin. People get upset when I flippity floppity the terminology token, around, man. Right? But with token. token. You know, I could just imagine, you know, Navi from Legend of Zelda be like, token. Coming around, right? But, like, you know, I really believe in Save, like genuinely, because of what the mission is. Like, for me, Save isn't like this ride to the moon for me. It's a passion of what we're doing for people. Like, that's what Save means to me, you know? And I get so irritated when people want to start, like, batting around numbers. And, like, I understand investing and all that. But really, like, the people that honestly get it are just truly excited about the project because we're doing cool shit.
Yeah, I completely get where you're coming from, and I'm in the same boat. I kind of stumbled onto Save in the beginning, and I joined their team as well to help them out with their marketing, I guess, and just getting their word out because, you know, in crypto, there's a lot of good people, a lot of smart people that know how to code stuff and make projects, tokens, but they're not really good in terms of translating that to people so that they understand what's actually going on. With Save, Save, yeah, I know, trust me, because I've sat in on like dev AMAs and I've had conversations with developers and they just don't really know how to talk sometimes, you know, and that's not all of them, but it is what it is. They're really smart. Just not the best people person type, you know? Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know what gets me about that real quick, though? Dev will do an interview or they'll do an AMA and they use the internal microphone on their cheap laptop.
Yeah, but that's because they don't have actual mics because they don't talk to people.
I know. You know what I thought about starting doing? I thought about, like, when we reach out to people, like, hey, make sure you have a good microphone. Here's a link in case you don't have one. And I'm thinking to myself, I really need to start doing that because if I'm not going to charge people for the interview, the least they can do is come prepared.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great, you know, if you went on an interview and, you know, people could hear you. That's right. That's the whole point of the interview. So yeah, at least have a good mic.
Well, not just that though, too. Like, we understand there's a lot of language barrier in the space. Yeah, it helps when you have a language barrier if people can clearly understand what you're saying.
Yeah, not only that, but you know, you got to get to the point where you can explain a concept to someone in a way that they can understand. Because if you can't really explain it in a simple way, then you yourself don't really understand it.
Right.
And you know, the thing is with crypto too is that it's a worldwide community. There's people from all parts of the world. So sometimes things get lost with you know, the translation and the way people speak. So there is that kind of miscommunication, and that's why it's really important to have a team of people that can digest the information that's given to them by the developers and then translate that in a way that's understandable for the people, for normal people or normal investors to kind of get a grasp on and say, okay, I get this concept, I'm behind it or I'm not behind it. You know, they can make their own decision. At least they have all the information in a way that they can understand.
Right. And that's the thing too. Like, we both do music, right?
Yeah, love it.
And it's just like the real sign that you know something, that you've mastered it, is the ability to explain it to anybody, explain it to a child and help the child understand. That's what I really like about this program is, sometimes I can be a little stupid. So I'm like, can you explain that to me? Because, I don't quite remember the terminology, or I'm unsure a little bit. And it's this whole thing of we get so used to using things like FUD and FOMO and whale and ape that nobody outside of crypto understands it. And the only reason why we understand it is we use Google because we were too embarrassed to ask.
Yeah, it's just how it is. There's a whole vocabulary. There's a very colorful vocabulary in the crypto world.
It's so colorful.
Yeah. So there are a lot of terms like aping, for example. People are like, what is aping? And that's because,
it deals with bananas. No, it doesn't.
And no, it has to do with the term. It has to do when you basically rush to invest into a token without doing any background search, and you don't really do any research. You kind of just want to jump into it because sometimes, you have to be in there first, or you want to be ahead of somebody else. And they call it aping because you're on your phone or you're on your computer rushing to type in the contract, and you're going to the website and you're moving so fast. You're like panting. You're like while you're trying to like get everything down. So
I always thought it came from the concept of going ape crazy over something. I really did.
No, it's because I gotta hurry up.
On one of my other shows, man, there was this one chick. She would just randomly, like, what the hell is going on, right? And like, so there's this song by Fair to Midland, right, where it goes, I'm a whale, I'm a whale, I'm a whale. And the first time I ever became a whale on any project on accident, because it happened, and it's like, it hit me, and I just listened to that song, and I put my hands up,
It is a pretty wild feeling, I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Well, sometimes, and this is the crazy thing, like, when you're in the position of you're in the crypto space and you're talking to people, sometimes people just send you tokens just as like tips or whatever, and you didn't realize how much they sent you, and you look at the wallet addresses and you're in the top 30 and you're like, oh, I'm a whale. Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And
I didn't want the responsibility.
It's a lot of, as long as you're a moral person, it is a lot of responsibility because
I honestly, I leave it there, like, always, because it was free money to start with, so I never touch it.
Diamond hands, baby.
Like, oh yeah, like, I got, like, I won in a contest for Eclipse token, we remember them, and it was like $10,000 that I won. I'm like, I'm just going to leave it there. Who knows what's going to happen? Like, looking back now, I should have just like liquidated it immediately, right? But
did it go to zero?
Oh man, I don't even know what their market cap is right now. It's sad because they had a really like impressive start. You know what I mean? They had a really impressive start, and it's like, right now they're at they're still alive. I still got money. What? They're at like
quick, cash it out.
Yeah. They're at like a
sell.
They were at like a 4. No, I'm gonna lose money. I don't ever understand. Okay, here's the thing. Hear me out. You pour a bunch of money into a project, right? And the chart starts going down, and then you sell at a loss when you already lost like 90% of everything. That 10% that you're pulling out ain't gonna make a difference in your life.
Yeah, I love buying high and selling low.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite. It's my
love it.
Favorite. I love it more than orgasms and cheese.
I'm to be honest, I'm on a really good streak of selling low in the last week.
Are you?
So I'm only getting better every day. I love it.
Higher buys, lower sells. Oh.
Yep. Love it.
But for me, right, like this one guy, I saw him say, like, 90% of my investment's gone and I'm thinking about selling. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, realistically, when you know that the project's still working and the project's still going.
Your investment is only gone. It's only a loss when you sell. So if the project, don't get me wrong, if the project is tanking and it's a rug, sell. But if you have people talking to you every day about the project, what's going on, what's being planned, the direction that it's moving in, and there's communication,
Right.
then I stick with it. As long as people are talking and they're communicating, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's not like
And
the Twitter's dead. It's not like
no, at least with Save, we're posting every day. We have our Instagram. It's close to 5,000 followers. Twitter has over 13,000 followers. We started a TikTok. We're posting frequently. We have all this stuff that we're getting, like all this media, or photos that we're getting from charities like Act Now. And basically, even Michael Blackson, he sent a video of a groundbreaking that they did for the school that we donated to, and they're trying to get that built by September. And then they're going to have photos and videos of the kids going in. And that's what's really important. We're showing people the difference or the impact the money is having, versus us just saying, all right, we sent this money, there it goes. All right, thank you guys. No, we're constantly asking people to show us what the money is doing, where it's going, because we want to show people what Save is actually doing. There's a lot, there's tens of thousands of projects out there, tokens, coins, whatever you want to call them. And I really, really, really feel passionate about Save because it shows the good that crypto can do. It shows what happens when you connect a global economy and you have people all over the world trading a token, and it makes the world smaller, and it allows people to help other people a lot easier and kind of make a connection with those people that are on the other side of the world. You're in a chat room and you're in crypto. If you're in Telegram or even in Discord, you're in a chat room with people and you're talking to people from all over the world. And it's pretty nuts. No matter where you guys are in the world, you're still kind of connected through these projects, and you believe in the future of some of these projects. And some of these projects won't make it, but some of them will. And I definitely think Save will, especially with the work that has been done so far, the stuff that's being planned in the future.
Right.
I feel like there hasn't been as many projects in the crypto space that has attracted a lot of global attention or attention outside of crypto.
Right.
You have Dogecoin. Okay, that's like, a thing that everyone is obsessed about. But I mean, like real projects with real utilities, things that are tokens that actually do something, which is kind of rare. We have, you get into crypto, you can find hundreds of projects launching a day. But in terms of the number of them actually doing something or having a purpose more than just being the latest fad, they're very, very few that exist. And I definitely think Save is one of them.
And like, I'm a fly on the wall on pretty much every conversation because I pay really close attention to the community, as you know. Like,
yeah.
I pay attention to these people every day, all day. And like, if they only knew the talks we were having, like, they're going to know, right? They're going, guys, like, the stuff that's about to drop is kind of crazy. Like, honestly, when you think about making some history.
I can honestly say that it's never been done, at least as far as I know, and I've been in crypto for a number of years at this point. And as far as I know, the extent of the collaboration that is happening and that's outside of the world of crypto.
It's like we can't say anything, and it's so aggravating, right? It's like you just want to shake them, be like, if you only knew, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because all it takes, like, obviously there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to dealing with, something other than like maybe another project or partnering with another token. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done, a lot of conversations that need to be had, a lot of questions that need to be answered to really show that we are who we say we are, that we plan on doing what we plan on doing. And, we've been around for, I want to say, maybe about 40 to 45 days, so to say, when you start a conversation with someone and you're like, hey, we're Save the World, we've been around for 45 days and we've donated about $2 million to charity. You get a lot of questions, a lot of surprised faces and a lot of questions like, how do you do it? How does it work? And a lot of these conversations start at a very basic level. You have people that don't know anything about crypto. You talk to different charities, different organizations, different influencers or celebrities, and they're like, what is Save the World? And I'm like, well, it's a cryptocurrency token. Well, what's that? Well, it's located, it's a token made on the Binance Smart Chain. What is Binance? Well, it's a smart chain. It's one of many different blockchains that exist. It's different than ETH. Well, what's ETH? So it's like it's really starting at a basic level, and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of being able to explain something in a way that people understand.
You know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should come up with a frequently asked questions video for these people.
It would be a long one, but we should.
We should, because then they have it and they can watch it in their home and then just be like, did you have any questions that wasn't covered by the video? And me and Chris have talks like this all the time where we're bouncing around ideas on how to better the project, because like, for instance, for sake of total transparency, I have people that work on the project that, nothing in the world's for free. I don't see any money from it, but members of my team who are putting a lot of time in, I'm paying them essentially, right? But I'm not getting paid for my opinion. I'm not getting paid for hype, because
like none of us, like at least with the core team, the advisors too, everyone's just an investor. Everyone just came in, threw some money down, saw it go down, or saw like what was going on with the marketing, or just saw like, hey, this doesn't, it needs help. That's what it was. It was a project that needed help. So a lot of amazing people stepped in, people I would have never dreamed of working with. And that's one of the cool things about crypto, is you get connected to a lot of cool people that are intelligent, have good backgrounds, and can actually put a foot forward and say like, oh, I want to help, but I don't really know how. It's like, no, like, I used to, like someone like yourself, I manage social media accounts. Someone else is like, I used to work for different banks and, handle finances and, deal with money. So it's like you meet a lot of these cool people and people that have a lot of expertise, and those people are not bound by their borders, right? They don't have to, you can work with whoever you want from around the world.
And our team is worldwide too. We're not all hanging out in our underwear in one basement together.
We're extremely worldwide, which is so awesome in one way.
I love it.
So hard for meetings in another.
I hate it. Well, it's cool though, because different cultures bring different mindsets. And,
of course,
we're able to, more often than not, like, come to a really good consensus on stuff. And like the way, if you remember how I got brought in to kind of help, right? I was having a day where I was particularly frustrated with kind of like the breakdown in communication on some stuff. And I remember I'd go into the chat and I'd start pretty much just chewing everyone out. And then they're like, you know what? I like you. We're keeping you on. I'm like, okay. And
yeah, you know what it was? I don't think anyone expected the kind of reaction that it had. And like, the project went from being worth, I don't even know, 200,000 to $250 million in about 72 hours. Mm-hmm. And there was just such a huge influx of people, so many people, like, and we're not talking about hundreds, we're talking about thousands. Like, we had in the Telegram, like, for example, when I joined, it was like something like 650 people. And like now it's like 5,000 to 6,000 people. And a majority of those people joined in those first 72 hours. And it was just a huge stream of people, a huge amount of buys and sells and transactions and stuff. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people got overwhelmed, and I believe, I think the team, when it started, there was about like 4 or 5 people. Now there's like 20 of us, right? That handle everything from being admins or mods to handling with development, handling marketing, handling charities. So now people are starting to find their footing, their lane, and things are a lot more organized, matter of fact. And, we have these meetings, people have, they get their clear goals. And so far, people have been knocking it out of the park the last few weeks in terms of getting the website updated and running, in terms of getting all these charities locked down, in terms of increasing our social media presence. It's all getting done. And there's a lot more to come. And it's really all the work that's being done now is the setup for the next bull run, so that when things start looking up, and things have been looking up the last day or so, at least with Bitcoin and BNB and ETH, and things are ticking up, Save the World will definitely be in a place where now it has a history behind it of things that it has accomplished, updates that it's pushed, a community that has grown immensely. You're talking about 35,000 holders, that have come onto the project in the first month. So with that being said, I feel like now what happened in the past. There were a lot of missteps. Now things are really well organized. Things are getting done pretty quickly. Partnerships are being locked down. Charities are being locked down. And it's all about just getting it set up and ready for the next bull run, so that when people start making their money from Bitcoin and ETH, and they start turning around and saying, okay, what can I pick up now? Save the World will be at the top of that list, because things that are coming will make people really think about investing in the token, knowing what's in store for it.
Like, the whole thing that really sticks out to me, right, is the fact that we have some short-term goals, which, some short-term things that we're doing, and then there's some middle ground stuff, and then we have some long picture, like 5-year plan type stuff too. Like, at least I know I do. Like, I brought up this idea about creating a central hub for all kinds of donations. You know what I mean? But an app on your phone where people can donate and move money around to these different charities and stuff, and they can be voted on by the community. Like, the community can be like, I want this. This is the one that we all as a community think should be next, And
yeah,
like, and it'd be worldwide, because a lot of stuff like GoFundMe and stuff and whatnot is very much focused here in the North American region. And you don't see much from, like, say, Malaysia or Singapore or Russia or all those other places. And, to be a hub to kind of touch every little part of the world. And that's the other cool thing too that we're doing, is because there's two camps, right? One camp is like, I want us only to do big donations, which those are great, right? Those are great. We like those big numbers and so on and so forth. But when volume's low, if you give a couple $1,000s to a big charity, it's almost like you insulted them, which is weird. But
yeah, I mean, you definitely got to know what your lane is, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense and that's one of the reasons why we slowed down with having some guests on, because the last thing you want to do is have someone come on, someone who is part of a big organization, right? And you beg them to come on, and they come on and they support what you're doing, but they might not get as much money. And it's just about knowing who to target, and
right.
Picking people where whatever amount you give them, will go a long way in helping them.
Yeah, like, for instance, the Real Life Superhero Project. You know how many coats you can buy for $1,200?
Yeah.
A lot of coats. That's a lot of people that are going to get help in Chicago. And for instance, we got some other things lined up, right? We got some strategies that, like, if you do $2,000 here, $4,000 there, $12,000 over here and whatnot, or even, like, say $1,500 or whatever, they're going to be grateful about that, because it helps them reach their goal of impacting their local area. And, like, that's not small. It's not small. And the people that are like it blows my mind to an extent that you can donate to a charity that really helps people, and some people can take it as a negative. And it blows my mind. It really, really does.
It just goes to the whole, you're not going to make everyone happy. Right. So you just have to focus on what the main mission of the project is, and that's helping people.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, there's always going to be people that say, well, why did you choose that one? Why specifically them? Why do they get, and they don't really think about the fact that someone is being helped or a group of people are being helped. And we think that with the DAO coming out eventually, we think that'll be something that kind of alleviates that pressure point. Whereas now it's the community that decides what charity or organization to donate to next. The community as a whole decides, they vote, they choose, and it'll be something that they can all stand behind because it's what they voted for. And if someone's proposal for a charity didn't get voted on this time around, they can resubmit it. They can bring more information about it to pique people's interest. So that's what the main purpose of the DAO is for, as well as just helping to propose ideas to move Save, what direction to move it in. But the charities and the organizations is what's going to be really cool about it. And we think that'll be something that's really, really big when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of moving parts to these things, right? And people, like, this is the other big thing for the folks that are holders in Save. Understand negotiating with big organizations and things like that, it takes time. Developing a new feature takes time. All these things take time. Just because you don't see it at this very moment does not mean that it's not coming. And I'm telling you right now, stuff is coming. Lots of things are coming. Lots of things.
If we were like, 6 months into the project and nothing was being done, then I could definitely understand where, it's coming from and like, hey, what are you guys doing, in 6 months, even 3 months. But it's been 40, 45 days. And not to mention, like I said earlier, that first week, there wasn't really a team, the first week or two. There wasn't a real team. It was just a lot of people trying to help. And everybody had good intentions. We just weren't moving in lockstep with each other, So now that there is a team, there are roles that are defined, at least for like the developer, the marketers, they kind of know what they can do to help. It's looking so much better. And it's only making me way more excited about it because knowing the plans that we have, and like I said, knowing that we're planning something that has not been done so far in the world of crypto. That's about, Save the World was really the first or the biggest charity token. Up until then, you had a couple of tokens that claimed that they were a charity, but didn't really donate or just, donated, hey, $5,000, here you go, Right. Save the World created a brand new sector in cryptocurrency. And it's just going to keep being the first in a lot of things. I know it.
And that's the big thing that I'm excited about. Like I'm really grateful that, as relative as, I'm relatively kind of new to the crypto space, right? But I've made an impact thus far. And I feel very fortunate, right? To get to be a part of this project because I can bring legitimate value to it. And that's the beautiful thing about the crypto space. If you're good at something, you pretty much get to do it right away.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. And the thing is with cryptocurrency too, is that it moves really, really fast. You can be the first to do something, but then if you don't do anything after that, well, guess what? In about 3 to 5 days, there will be 5 other projects that also launched with the same intention as you did and even probably copied the contract from you, because guess what? With cryptocurrency, when you make a token and you launch that token, that code can be looked at by anyone and they can literally copy and paste it, just change the name, of the token from Save the World to whatever and relaunch it. Can they replicate that community? Can they actually move forward? Can they do what they said they're doing or what the first project they're copying is doing? That, that's something that ends up happening. And some tokens come out, they're known as clones and they don't go as far, or maybe they're just quick scams or pump and dumps. And then you have other projects that launch after and maybe go a little bit further than what the first project did, because they constantly innovate. And that's what it is in crypto. You're constantly building off of what's around you. And something comes out, it's new, it's a new concept. Well, how can that be innovated? How can that be built upon, And It happens very quickly in crypto. It happens quick.
And we have a lot of plans Chris, me and you have talked in depth about just a few things that's going to have a lot of moving parts, and the team is making it a priority. That's the big thing that I want to get across in this is the team's number one goal. And I'm present at a lot of the meetings, and I'm there when we're talking to other people and doing all these other things that I can't talk about at the moment, right? But there's a lot of stuff that's happening that when it manifests, they're going to see all this work. They have no idea how big this stuff is. They could
And
not
like I said,
guess. They could not guess it if they tried.
With the markets being the way they are now, you have a lot of people leaving crypto, a lot of projects that are being abandoned. They don't want anything to do with it anymore because if it wasn't quick, if it wasn't easy, they don't want to work on it. They don't want to support it. They don't want to advance it. But with Save the World, I can tell you for a fact that all these guys are working day in and day out. Everyone's working, doing whatever they can during their spare time, even while they're working at their normal jobs, okay? To actually set Save up so that when the bull market is back and things are looking up, Save will be in a good position, not only because of what it's done, but because of what it planned in advance and what is actually coming up, because you can only ride what you've done for so long. You have to keep working on things. You have to keep innovating. You have to keep advancing. Otherwise, you're singing an old tune. You're just riding off of a wave that you started, but you never, moves forward. So Save is definitely moving things forward. They have such huge plans with different people. And I'm talking about not just crypto people. I'm talking about people that are known around the world, people that
people
that are actually that have some weight and are actually interested in crypto, and up until now never understood it or didn't really want to mess with it because it wasn't for them. And we tell them about Save, and we tell them what we've done, and we tell them that this is crypto, this is what it can do. Now people are starting to be interested in it. And now we're not only having investors in the crypto space coming in, but we have people that have never touched crypto wondering how they can get Save, how they can buy ETH or BNB, and what they ask what cryptocurrency is. They ask all the questions to learn what it is, because at the end of the day, and this is just a personal belief, I truly believe that crypto is the future of finance, and it is something that will help a lot of countries find financial security. So with that being said, it is in the best interest of as many people around the world to understand what it is, because if you think that there's a big disparity now with wages and, the amount of money between the richest person and the poorest person, there's going to be a whole new wave of finance coming up. And there's going to be a lot of people that get left behind when they don't learn what crypto is, what it does, either because they don't want to learn it, they don't believe in it. It's akin to not believing in the internet. And something that one of my high school teachers told me was he knew someone that worked for AOL and made email. And back in the 80s, he was shown this, and his immediate thought was, man, people are never going to use email for official paperwork. It just looks like a thing to send, chain messages, and no way that's going to be the future. Mail is the way to go. It's an official document. You can't just print something out. And guess what? Email now is pretty much how everyone gets their electronic statements, how they conduct all their business, it's how the world communicates. So crypto is no different. It's a new dawn of money. It's part of a new internet. As the internet advances, new things will come from it. And crypto is one of those things. And it's one of those things that is part of a global economy. And if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Again, this is my personal belief, but it's what I do believe.
Right. And here's the thing, right? Save the World is going to change the world in the near future because of what the plan is. Because, man, how do I allude to something without not saying it?
You got to keep it.
Yeah. So never before has a currency done what we're about to do, right?
Yeah, that's safe to say.
Where a certain not just a majority or not just a portion, but 100% of a group will possess something because of us. How about that? How about that?
Man, that is as close as you can get.
That's literally as close
I'm gonna
as
have
I
to
can
draw
get.
the line right there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's how big this thing is. And people are gonna be like, what does that even mean? I'm telling you, you can try to guess and you ain't gonna get it right.
Yeah.
Because it's so big. It is so big. What, like, you know what I mean? It's such it's
innovation.
It is an innovation. And I really think, like, other people have tried to do something similar, but not a currency, right?
Yeah.
And
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
And I mean, and that's the thing. There's so many moving parts to this big thing. And I know I'm dancing around the subject, but there's so many moving parts. I just want to talk to someone about it, Chris, outside of you and the guys. Like, I just want to talk to anyone about it, and I can't. I just can't.
I'm really hoping that, over the next few days, maybe by the time this ends up airing, you will be satisfied in being able to tell whoever you want because we'll announce it.
I know.
So,
I'm hoping, because that there, when the community realizes what's about to go down, they'll be like, yeah. We've been for saying they're not been working. Oh. Like, and that's the thing. I saw some FUD earlier in today. It's like, oh, this project's dead. I'm like, you're not paying attention. Like, we're still posting, we're still working, we're still doing stuff. How is it dead? How?
It's not dead. People just look at the price and they don't really do any research. They don't understand. They might not understand how the markets work, how BNB, the price of that affects the price of Save. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors involved, when looking at a chart or looking at a price. But the best thing you can do if you're nervous or if you don't know if the token is alive or dead is look at their social media. Yeah. Look at their Telegram. Look at their Discord. Are they still posting? Are they talking? Are they communicating?
Are the core team members still in existence?
Yeah. Did they go into hiding? Are they no longer, So if you can do a little bit of research and you can find on your own and see that people are still active, because we sure are. We're posting constantly. We're communicating with the team. There's a group of 20 people that are working all the time. So it's far from dead. I'll tell you that.
Right. And that's the thing. If you look at how active just the Twitter is by itself, like, it is extremely active. I mean, I'm scrolling down it, man, and it's just, there's stuff on there every day. And we try to bring you new information as we get it, right? Like, we try to talk about it, but sometimes it's a matter of the tortoise and the hare. At first, Save ran so strongly and they shared everything at once and we didn't space stuff out. It's almost like if we would have spread it out, we never would have been perceived as moving slow right now, right? Because the momentum would have felt organic, but we were all just so excited at the beginning.
Yeah.
It like was I said, all heart and no brain, And now the brains are really starting to turn and the gears are moving and things are starting to click. And the team that's going to carry this into the next bull run and into that next new all-time high, this is the team that's going to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm super excited for everyone involved. And I feel like we have a really solid team and the future is looking really bright.
It's looking so bright. I need sunglasses.
Yeah.
I need shades. Save's future's too bright. I mean, on a legit level, though, like, it baffles my mind when people are like, they don't understand how deeply we're working on stuff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of moving parts involved and people get antsy. I get it. I know people want answers, but they'll come. Take a couple of days off, hang out with your family, talk to your kids. We'll still be working. And then when you check back in a couple of weeks, I think you'll be happy.
And not just that, though. Like, I have offered to just jump into the VC with people and hang out and kind of just like, if they need reassurance. No one's taken me up on it yet. But like Like I've offered. I'm like, I'm the fly on the wall inside every meeting. Heck, I record them 90% of the time. I'm the one that record them for the team and like shoot it over, right? But like, I'm there. I'm part of the discussions. And you could be like, you could ask me very pointedly, like, so the team do anything? Like, yeah, bro. Like all day,
Yeah.
every day. We've been assigning what's the really cool thing that's changed, right, since I came in, is we're having more meetings and we're actually like delegating tasks to specific team members now. And there's way more organization than there was. Because the problem when you have a big project, if you don't define the roles right away, there gets to be a little bit of chaos. Then people are doubling up on the same tasks and things aren't getting done as fast. Well, that problem's fixed.
Yeah. No,
And
like I said, everyone has their roles now, and it feels a lot more put together for sure.
And I feel a lot better about it because, as I said, I had a very visceral reaction to the way things were going before I came on and became an ambassador and stuff and kind of just helping out. And it was I think the exact words I used, Chris, was I win. Success and winning is as easy for me as breathing. And this feels like failure. And I fucking hate it. I think those were my exact words.
Yeah, I think so.
And the guys were like, well, it's not fair. We're working 10-hour days. It's not fair to say that. And I'm like, well, if you're working 10-hour days, I'm not seeing it. And was the point when they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, where's the organization? We need to come together as a team. And it was that moment where we all just we all took an inventory, I think, right? And I don't remember which team member was like, man, it just feels like I've been asleep for a month and now I'm actually awake.
Yeah.
And not that he's been asleep at the wheel, right? Because there was this issue with Discord where the Discord was getting neglected just because everyone was stretched so thin. Then David came along with this great idea to marry the Telegram and the Discord together. And it's been brilliant.
It's worked out really well with communication and making people feel like they're not being left out, for sure.
Yeah, because I can respond to stuff that's in the Telegram chat because because my content and how I operate my personal business, I'm on Discord pretty much only. And then the whole thing with that is I can see what people are saying and I can respond to them and I can reassure them and I can address thinking that's kind of detrimental to the rest of the community. Because I think the big thing is when people voice stuff like that, they're looking to the leadership to correct them. They don't know that's what they're doing. But now we can all move together as a team and as a community. And I think it's a really beautiful thing that, we had a really rough start, Chris. It was an exciting start.
I agree with you.
But here's the beautiful thing. We've rallied, we got our shit figured out, and we're going full steam ahead. Like, it's so exciting. And it's a beautiful thing, too, because I am excited for the future of Save the World. I really, really am. Like, I still tell people now, like, listen, you're going to want to buy before you find out this big news. Like, you're going to want to buy while the market's low. Because as soon as some of these things that happen, because, we have some plans in place to really get us picked up by syndicated news and stuff. And once we hit that global stage in a very public way, because we're doing something that no one else really is doing, then everybody's going to know about Save. And you're going to wish you would have held from the very beginning rather than selling out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the big thing. And I'm not trying to do the whole FOMO thing. I'm just speaking my honest opinion on it because I know what we're doing. I know the strategies in place. And what I'm saying is, based upon my experience with the team, they're in good hands because we care. We care about what's happening. I mean, we're stressed. We're working hard, but we care.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Because, it's all just like we're all in it together. A lot of us are holders and we just want to see it work because the mission, there's enough people robbing each other. It's time for some people to help each other.
That's what it's all about, baby. Save the world.
Baby. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Chris, I think this is a great point for us to stop this time. I think next time we'll have Justine on and, we'll bring you back on again, right? I'm sure.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, man. I love what I do. Genuinely just love what I do. I love like it's different. A lot of other podcasts, right, would shy away from oh, it's in a rough place right now. They only would talk about the hype. And yeah, I mean, charts don't lie. They don't lie. But I am excited, genuinely enthusiastic. Knowing that I'm working with Save warms my heart.
Yeah, man, it's for a good cause at the end of the day. That's what drives me. It's such a good cause.
And for me, the primary reason to want to help Save build more liquidity is just so we can help more people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. In comparison to what everyone else has in the project, I have a very minuscule amount of money into it. Minuscule. Yeah. Like I'm talking tiny. But
so it's your passion that drives you.
It's my passion that drives me. You know, I've gotten to see lives get changed. I've gotten to see like shelters getting built. I've gotten to see the fact that we're building we're planting some trees. I've got to see a lot of things. And yeah. I don't want to see that stop.
Me neither, man. Me neither.
So I'm in it for the long haul. Like if, for instance, like for whatever reason, like my staff can no longer be employed for it, then I'll just be here just to help however I can, you know, like, because I'm not in it for money. I'm in it for the mission.
Yeah.
And like, we've had that talk, you know, we've had the talk, like, regardless of what happens, I'm in, guys. I'm in. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, thank you.
I'm very much looking forward to working with you, Crowley.
Yeah, man, I am stuck. Hey, you remember when Crypto B, his streams improved like almost overnight and his thumbnails got better?
Yeah.
That was my people.
You did a good job.
Yeah, you know, I've been kind of just like in proximity of Save since like I think like the first couple weeks. Like I've just been around, you know. So yeah, no, I could talk about Save for a long time, but we don't have all the time in the world. We got things to do. We got work. So what was standing around here for, you know? So thank you again, Chris.
Of course, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, absolutely. Now, everybody, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all of your friends, and to ring the bell so you can get notifications on all these new projects and applications, and just everything in the world of crypto, because where else are you going to find such an informative format where you can really become educated on literally everything in crypto? And that's being said, when you get some Save the World token, the last thing you have to do is hodl that